school leader level, this has to be outrageous.
The state says that a Denver public school program systematically discriminates against black boys. Now the district has its first plan to try and fix it. Initially, an advocate had filed a complaint with the state regarding the program, and that pushed Colorado to act.
The state required most of the initial changes within the district. Advocates tell 9 News reporter Cole Sullivan, though, it isn't enough, and the district agrees.
The state's report wasn't a surprise, not to Denver public schools.
I don't think that we would say that we weren't aware of some of the problems, but it was glaring at how significant and broad those concerns and the findings were.
And not to education advocates.
That's the tragedy in all of this, is that we are just now addressing this issue.
The report found DPS disproportionately sent black boys to a program meant for students with emotional disabilities too severe to be handled in typical classrooms. The report also found a long list of issues with how the district taught and evaluated them once they got there.
We are going to comply with the remedies that the state has outlined for us.
Julie Rotier-Lukens oversees the program and the required fixes, which so far include state training and reviews of student files.
It feels weird to say that I'm excited. While this is serious and we take it very seriously, we have a great opportunity right now to make significant change for our students.
It's a needed change, but not enough, says the NAACP's Tamika Brigham.
Yeah, that's one step, and it's a good step in the right direction, but we need an entire overhaul of how we choose to educate children.
She says the district needs to examine the underlying institutional racism that led to the state report no one was surprised by.
Why are we seeing these young males tracked into these classrooms, and what educators or what deans are disproportionately making those recommendations?
The district says it wants to address the problems as fast as possible, but it has to have the bandwidth to look at the educational records for 200 kids in this program and potentially the resources to make adjustments. In kind of a backwards way, the state calling them out on this could actually give them more space to make those changes that they say they've been wanting to do for such a long time. Was there consideration to just disbanding the program altogether? Well, obviously there are bigger issues here, as the NAACP co-chair of the Education Committee spoke out about. The superintendent calls this an example of institutional racism, but the district also has a responsibility to educate all children, and they say there are always going to be kids who need some kind of program like this, and they want to make sure that it's the right help.
I think the most frustrating thing about this is data pointing to inequities have been coming out like this since segregation. So as a black mom, it's just a little frustrating. Hopefully, you're skeptical, but hopeful that maybe this will be the straw that breaks the camel's back.
They're hoping that as well, both the district and the advocates keeping an eye on it.
Cool, thank you. None of the 27 students on board a Boulder Valley School District bus were hurt this morning when it crashed in Lafayette this morning. The bus and 1 or 2 other cars were involved in a crash near Arapahoe Road and Yarrow Street. That's close to the YMCA of Northern Colorado. All 27 high school-aged children were checked for injuries and taken to school on a different bus. It's not clear yet what caused the accident.
The retiring chief of Denver's police department, Paul Pazin, said that his best and worst days on the job both had to do with the George Floyd protests in Denver 2 years ago.
Speaking publicly for the first time since announcing his plans to retire 6 weeks ago, Pazin said the violence and destruction that resulted from some of the protests were painful for him to see. But he also said his best day as chief was the day he accepted the invitation to march in solidarity with protesters. During a 40-minute interview, Pazin said he hopes to be remembered as a reform-minded chief who championed non-traditional police responses to people needing help, like the STAR program, outreach case coordinators, and co-responders.
I'm very proud of many of the things that we have implemented that have moved the needle, and in many ways, not only...
As for his plans for the future, Pazin said he wants to continue to have an impact on the city of Denver. He did not rule out a run for elected office. 9 News Crime and Justice reporter Matt Jablow will have much more on Pazin's interview coming up at 5 o'clock.
Take a look outside right now. Some blue skies lurking right over the Flatirons as we start to peek towards the weekend. Kathy's with us now with a look at how things are shaping up this Thursday afternoon weather-wise. Hi, Kath.
Tom, we know you're always asking about the weekend on Monday, so here it is Thursday. Excited?
Yeah, but I'm actually looking Forward to next weekend too, and the one after that.
Oh, I need to get on that forecast. I'm just kind of focused on this one for now. And this day is so beautiful. Look at Boulder. I mean, crystal clear blue skies, a few high thin clouds coming in, and temperatures that are easy to take. So let's talk about what's happening. High pressure anchored over the area. Well, it's keeping the storm track to the north. The storm we are tracking is this big system rotating in the Midwest. That dry northwest flow, a bit of a downsloping effect for Colorado. A lot of wind to the north. Our neighbors to the north, Bismarck, Rapid City, dealing with gusty winds, and we're hoping that that wind stays north. We do have the potential to see high fire danger in October tomorrow. As the temperatures warm up, the winds increase out of the south, and a red flag warning goes out for part of the state. So that's something we're going to talk about in Maine weather coming up. If you're getting an early jump on your weekend, I know Tom wishes he was heading for the high country right now. Look at this, travel just fine. Beautiful conditions. We have 61 in Steamboat, 66 in Eagle, Denver at 63, average highs about 66, but we've got 70s on the map today and might have 80s on the map on Friday. If dinner is out on the patio tonight, you're taking the dog to the park, mid 60s now, dropping into the mid 50s after sunset. In Maine weather, we are going to talk much more about the weekend forecast in detail and also the potential for a windy, warm Friday and a red flag warning for high fire danger. That's all coming up in weather in just a bit.
Maybe have the dogs on the patio for dinner.
Yes.
Bring
They love
everybody
More the
out.
merrier.
Yeah, everybody's in.
Yep.
Thanks, Kathy.